You've saved me the trouble of looking for you, Padawan Starstone. These others must be the ones you gathered by accessing the temple beacon.
Starstone's dark eyes bored into him. You defiled the temple by setting foot in it.
More than you know.
Then you'll pay for that as well. He angled the lightsaber in front of him, tip pointed slightly downward.
You're very much mistaken, Padawan. It is you who will pay.
Before Starstone could make a move, Adam Forte and Ewell Kulka stepped in front of her and attacked Vader. As was the case with many Jedi Knights, the two were familiar with accounts of what had happened on Geonosis when Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker had gone after the Sith Lord Count Dooku. And so Forte and Kulka went in as a team, each of them employing a radically different lightsaber style, determined to off-balance Vader. But Vader merely stood like a statue, his blade angled toward the ground, until the very instant the two Jedi unleashed their assault. Then, as the three blades joined in scatterings of dazzling light and grating static sounds, he moved. Forte and Kulka were skilled duelists, but Vader was not only faster than Starstone remembered him being on Murkana against Master Shatak, but also more agile. He employed his awesome power to put a quick end to the fancy twirling of his opponents, who fell back against the hammering blows of Vader's bloodshine blade. Time and again, the two Jedi Knights attempted to alter their style, but Vader had an answer for every lunge, parry, and riposte. His style borrowed elements from all techniques of combat, even from the highest, most dangerous levels, and his moves were crisp and unpredictable. In addition, his remarkable foresight allowed him to anticipate Forte's and Kulka's strategies and maneuvers. His blade always one step ahead of theirs, notwithstanding the two-handed grip he employed. Toying with the Jedi, he grazed Forte on the left shoulder, then on the right thigh. Kulka he pierced lightly in the abdomen, then shaved away the flesh on the right side of the Hodin's face. Seeing the two Jedi Knights drop to their knees, wincing in pain, Padawan Clausi Anno broke from where she was helping Jambe and Nam engage the stormtroopers and got to Vader one step ahead of Starstone. Sidestepping, Vader slashed her across the back, sending her sprawling across the balcony. Then he whirled on Forte and Kulka, just as they were clambering to their feet, and decapitated them. From behind Vader came Jambe and Nam, neither of whom was an experienced fighter, and both of whom Vader immediately eliminated from the fight, amputating Jambe's right arm and Nam's right leg. To her horror, Starstone realized she was suddenly alone with Vader, who immediately signaled his stormtroopers to leave her to him, and to devote themselves to slaughtering the few Wookiees who remained on the tier. "Now you, Padawan," he said as he began to circle her. Calling on the Force, Starstone fell on him in a fury, striking wildly and repeatedly and with anger. Moments into her attack, she understood that Vader was merely allowing her to vent, as the Temple Swordmaster had often done with students, allowing them to believe that they were driving him back, when in fact he was simply encouraging them to wear themselves out before disarming them in one rapid motion. So she retreated, altering her strategy and calming herself. Vader is so tall, so imposing, but perhaps I can get under or inside his guard as Master Shatak did.
Your thoughts give you away, Padawan. You mustn't take the time to think. You must act on impulse. Instead of repressing your anger, call on it. Make use of it to defeat me.
Starstone feigned an attack, then sidestepped and slashed at him. Shifting to a one-handed hold on his lightsaber, he parried her blade and lunged forward. She snapped aside in the nick of time, but he kept coming at her, answering her increasingly frantic strikes with harsher ones and driving her inexorably toward the rim of the balcony. He flicked his blade precisely, economically, forcing her back and back. She felt as if she were fighting a droid, although a droid programmed to counter all her best stratagems. Ducking out from under a broad sweep of the crimson blade, she somersaulted to safety, but only for a moment.
You're skittish, Padawan.
Sweat dripped into her eyes. She tried to center herself in the Force. At the same time, she was vaguely aware of a new sound in the air, cutting through the chaos of the battle below. And just then, a familiar ship slammed down on the tier alongside the crippled shuttle. Two equally familiar figures leaping from the hatch, even while the ship was still in motion. At once, and seemingly of its own accord, the blood-smeared hilt of Master Forte's lightsaber shot from the balcony floor, whizzing past Vader's masked face to snap into the hand of one of the figures and ignite. A gurgled sound issued from somewhere close to the newly arrived ship, and something metallic hit the floor and began to roll forward. His black cloak unfurling, Vader spun around to find the helmeted head of Commander Appo coming to a rocky rest at his feet. A few meters away, Roan Shryne stood with his legs spread to shoulder width, Forte's blue blade angled high and to one side. Alongside him, blasters in both six-fingered hands, Archer was dropping every stormtrooper who approached. "Get away from him!" Shryne yelled at Starstone. She gaped at him. "How did you—" "Philly was keeping us updated. Now move away! Hurry!" Vader made no effort to prevent her from slinking past him.
Very touching, Shryne. Treating her like your personal learner.
Shryne gestured broadly. "Oli, get the wounded into the dropship." Advancing on Vader, he said, "I'm the one you want, Vader. So here's your chance. Me for them." "Shryne, no!" Starstone started. "Take the wounded!" He cut her off. "Jula's waiting. I'm not leaving you. I'll catch up with you when I'm done with him." Vader looked from Shryne to Starstone.
Listen to your master, Padawan. He has already lost 2 learners. I'm certain he doesn't want to lose a third.
Coming back to herself, Starstone hurried to help Lambe, Clossie, Nam, and some of the Wookiees get aboard the dropship. Determined to quiet her fears for Shryne, she forced herself not to look at him, but she could feel him reaching out to her. He is a Jedi again, she thought.